Good to be back here. Principal Mr. Ang, distinguished guests, teachers, students, parents, alumni, and all the friends of NJC, a very good morning. Thank you for a very kind introduction. It's great to be back here to celebrate this 53rd College Day with all of you. I have very fond memories of my time in NJ. It was in the old campus next door, 38 years ago in 1983 and 1984. Friends I made, teachers who have inspired me, and the many varied experiences I had in and outside of the classroom. Mr. Ang was talking about Guitar Society. I was the president of the Guitar Society. I was a vice captain of the swim team and a member of the 1984 NJC Himalayan expedition. Thank you. Yeah. All these experiences have made me into the social entrepreneur that I am today. So I'm very happy to be back here, and it's my greatest pleasure to share some of my thoughts about social entrepreneurship and adding values to other people's in today's short talk here. You know, experiences have a way to shape our life powerfully. But sometimes we don't realize how these experiences have influenced us until sometime many, many years later. And in 1984, a teacher, a PE teacher from NJC, the late Miss Elizabeth Pui, she led 30 students and 6 teachers up to the Himalayas. It was the first Himalayan expedition for a junior college. And I was one of the members. And sitting down there, Mr. Chu Bun Chuan was my teammate and my tent-mate. We slept together. And that trip changed my life. It was my first time trekking in the remote and beautiful mountains in a third world country, Nepal. And on the way, we came across many poor villages. It is a mind-opening and eye-opening experience for me coming from Singapore. There are so many villages that are so poor that they have really next to nothing. And I met some children and youth there. They were living a very tough life, very different from the children that I met in Singapore. We, the NJ students, were donning tracksuits and Adidas shoes to protect ourselves. These kids, they wore torn and tattered clothes, and some of them were running around the tough mountainous terrain barefooted. It put a lot of questions in my mind at that point in time. I was 18 years old, and I wondered to myself, why is it possible that some of these kids who didn't even have chance to go to a proper school in the remote mountains, how can it be that they carry a genuine smile of joy and contentment every day? While some of us who have so much, and yet we tend to incessantly complain about not having enough. I see some people nodding your head now. Yeah, right. And it took this stark contrast to give me a very deep impression. And this seed grew into a lifelong curiosity and interest in third world poverty for me. It led me on to travel the world very widely, especially in the African continent, in countries like Kenya, Senegal, Mali, Gambia, Morocco, Tanzania, Uganda. I also stayed for months with the very poor farming community from the Hu tribes in northern Thailand, living with the tribal people in rural India, as well as the street children from Kenya. In my attempt to be close and live with them, and to better understand their life and their challenges. And over the years, I started numerous social transformation projects and initiatives in my own humble attempt to live out our school motto, service with honor. You know, when I was in NJ, 38 years ago, there was no internet, no smartphone, of course, no social media like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Technology has transformed our lives in so many ways. It is supposed to be a leveler. The world today is more connected than ever before, yet humanity has never been more divided. Based on the World Inequality Report of 2021, the richest 10% of the people in the world own 76% of all the wealth in the world, while the remaining poorer 50%, half of the population, own just 2%. The rich are getting richer, while the poor are getting stuck ever deeper in the quicksand of poverty. This widening divide is actually driving and basically pushing the poorer half of the population, a lot of people, billions of people, off the cliff. And this is one of the reasons for the widespread social unrest that we see today and revolts that is around the world. And it will only get worse. And in a connected world like what we have today, something that is bad happening in one part of the world, in one country, can spread and affect all the other parts of the world. Just like what we see in the Ukraine war now. Another major crisis that you and I are facing today is climate change. We are already seeing it happening all around us, threatening our very existence on this planet. And what more, it will get worse. We are just starting to see and witness the start of it all. But the younger generation of today, you guys will experience the bulk of the wrath and consequences of the climate crisis. Make no mistake, it will be the biggest challenge of your lifetime, and especially so for your children's generation and theirs. So what can we do in the face of all these challenges in the world? What is the purpose of getting and receiving the best of education and grasping the best of technology? How can we all make a difference? I would like to suggest and invite all of you to consider social entrepreneurship as a way, as a possibility to collectively make a better world going forward. Now, today's thinking about entrepreneurship and business is a tad too limiting in my opinion. If you were to ask anyone here today, most likely he would say that the reason why someone would start a business is to make himself rich, isn't it? The conventional thinking about entrepreneurship is based on the premise that businesses are meant to maximize profit for personal gain. And most investors, as well as the stock market, tend to agree to that, and they expect businesses to report double-digit growth year after year, making more and more money for the shareholders. Now, the world is really filled with many highly educated and brilliant people. But so many of them are so consumed with the obsessions of working hard to accumulate that never-ending wealth for their own pockets. My question is, does business need to be constrained in this very narrow confine of being a selfish endeavor? But we all know humans are not unidimensionally selfish beings. We are selfish sometimes because of looking after our family and ourselves, but we are selfless at other times as well. We are hardwired to care for one another. We have an innate desire to care for and help the person next door to protect the animals as well as the environments. But in the conventional world of business, it somehow limits the expressions of our selfless nature. If you are so selfless and caring for other people, they will tell you, go and start a charity and do good. However, charities are not designed to generate revenue to sustain itself. As a result, charities depend on donation dollars to do its good work and also for its own self-survival. Social entrepreneurship straddles between the selfish for-profit business and the selfless not-for-profit charity. Social business is about using business acumen and creativity to solve human problems. It has the possibility of really creating new ideas, especially by young people like you, bold and creative ideas that will do good. A social business is designed also to generate profits, but it is non-dividend. In other words, it means that its profits do not go into the pocket of the business owner and the shareholder. All the profits are rechanneled back into the social business in order to create bigger social impact. Now, this is an exciting idea. Social business can also create new type and exciting type of employment opportunity and invite professionals of all kinds to come together to solve, with the intention really, to solve human problems and not to enrich any of the business owner or investor. The social investor, on the other hand, provides the fund to start the social business for the purpose of creating the social good, not to enrich themselves. But the social investor will eventually get back the money, same amount of money, but with no interest. And when the social investor gets back the money, he can now reinvest the same money to support another social business. Now, that is way better than the money that goes into donation to a charity that is only a one-time use. Let me share one example of my social business experiences with you. In 2007, like the MC said, my family befriended a poor rice farmer from the hill tribe in northern Thailand. My family got interested in, or got curious, how rice came about. We have never planted rice. So we decided that the following year we will return there in June and get into the paddy field with the farmer and plant rice. And in November, we returned there yet again to harvest the rice that we planted. Gosh, we had such an educational and aha experience. I thought we should make this experience available to other Singapore families. So I partnered with the rice farmer and we started Tigerland Rice Farm. That is my partner in Chiang Rai, Thailand. I designed it as a social business, marketed it as an ecotourism that offers a unique and alternative kind of vacation for urban families in Singapore. It turned profitable quickly, and 95% of the revenue goes to the farmer's family as their income, and 5% I keep to what? Not to fatten my pocket, but to pay for expenses like domain names, the server space, and also to fund some of the social community projects in Chiang Rai by building libraries in some of the village schools. And later on, when I learned about the concept that social investment can be a recyclable fund to do good, I started a Raise the Piggy project in Chiang Rai as an experiment. You see, black pigs are in demand in Thailand. So friends will invest $60, Singapore dollars, and we will buy a piglet we'll give it to a poor hill tribe family that has school-going children. And then I will tell the kids, you guys are responsible to care for and raise this piggy. So it's kind of like a little business game for them, yeah? In 12 to 18 months, the grown pig can fetch 300 Singapore dollars. They return me the $60 and they keep the 240 profit as an educational fund for the children. I now recycle the $60 to buy another piglet to give to another family. Prior to the pandemic, we had 77 pigs there being recycled and raised by 77 families at any one time. That's pretty cool, right? Right? Thank you. So you see, you don't need a lot of money to do a lot of good. With business acumen and creativity and thinking like an entrepreneur, $60 in Singapore, you can hardly pay for a family dinner on a Saturday night. Agree? But $60 recycled repeatedly can help a lot of families. That is social entrepreneurship. Personally, I have Professor Muhammad Yunus to thank for inspiring me on the path of social business. He said, whenever I find a social problem, I create a business to solve it. Gosh, I was so inspired by what he said, and it has become my own mantra today, and I try my best to squeeze my creative juice to create businesses that will help to solve problems and inspire others to do it. I really hope that I could inspire more successful businessmen, wealthy individuals, and investors to use some of their wealth to do good in a sustainable way. How? By investing in social businesses, by supporting young people like you who will boldly and creatively create interesting and pragmatic social business ideas that are profitable and sustainable. To support young people to be job creators instead of just being job seekers. To design and launch social businesses that solve all kinds of human problems, eradicate poverty, heal Mother Earth, and courageously design and launch and create new and exciting employment opportunities. New jobs that is not just pay well, pay better, but provide meanings, jobs that are meaningful and significant for all future generations to come. Wouldn't the world be a much better place than today if more young people, we are not short of educated and brilliant young minds, if more of these people can get out there and embark on being a social entrepreneur and live the school motto, service with honor. My wish is for all of you to live out your life, live out our school motto in all that you do and all that you are. For me, I have my teachers to thank, especially the late Miss Elizabeth Pui, for leading me up to the mountain, the remote mountains, and allow me to discover the compass and the passion of my life. Miss Pui might not have a very long life. She died of cancer at the age of 61. But Miss Pui served so many students, teachers, poor villagers, people, friends around her world with honor. Indeed, to me, there's really no higher honor than service to others. It leaves me to just wish all of you a very happy college day, and like they say in Nepal, Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. 好，谢。